After putting 200 plus hours into the Elden Ring, doing most of the side quests, slaying bosses and admiring beautiful sights, I dropped the game and started patiently waiting for the DLC, whenever that was coming. When it comes to Soulsborne games, I have a certain addiction, to be honest. For all I know, I might be a goddamn masochist at this point, but the thing is, I wanted to play something while I was waiting. So I went back to the original masterpiece, Dark Souls 3, and truth to be told, I got addicted again. I played the whole game from scratch to finish with a fresh new experience, like I haven't finished the game 9 times in the past already. When I first opened the game though, I was kinda repelled by how colorless the game looked. Elden Ring being the more modern and optimized FromSoftware title, and more color variety, and because of that, the world you traverse on your journey looked alive, breathing and beautiful. Dark Souls 3 in comparison just looks like a mesh of dark white and grey colors all over. But only after going in for a couple of hours did I remember why that was the case actually. You see, Dark Souls 3 is a game about a dead world, and the atmosphere it portrays shows it. Games in my opinion are the best medium to tell an emotional story where the reader, a player in this case, can interact with it and get more immersed as a result. Miyazaki understands this very well, and because of that, you can feel the dark, depressing and almost hopeless mood while traversing through the levels of this game. The world of Dark Souls is fractured, dying, and yet kept on this life support that is a ritual of licking the first flame, which as a result abuses the already fractured world further. It isn't like a living corpse in a sense. It keeps on rotting, weakening, and yet the ritual keeps it alive and forces it to move forward even though it is about to crumble into the dust. Those who wish to link the flame aren't to be blamed for this either, as it is the only thing they were taught that would save the world from ever-impending darkness, which from the transcript of the old gods is said to be the end of it all. No, it's not their fault. In fact, the main culprit of this game and pretty much the whole trilogy is already presented in the first game. It's Gwyn, Lord of the Sunlight. It really pisses me off when I think about how this guy's fear of losing power and might, which was granted by the flame, pretty much resulted in a continuous instance of abuse of the world by leaking that damn ever so dying but still going first flame. Originally, in the world of Dark Souls, there was the Age of Ancients. Then, out of nowhere, a flame appeared, which granted 5 humanoid beings souls and turned them into the gods. Those gods were Gwyn, the Fire Witch, and Nito. With them defeating dragons, thus comes the Age of Fire. But as the Age of Ancients ended, soon the end of the Age of Fire would also come, and with it would come Age of Dark, as was the natural order. But as we know, that never happened because Gwyn, being the greedy asshole he was, didn't want to let go of his and his kind's Age of Prosperity, desperately clinged to their flame by sacrificing himself and instructing his descendants to do the same with the beings powerful enough to become Lords of Cinder. That's how it all began. That's how the world was abused over and over, after countless years of licking the flame and disturbing the natural order, which in turn affected the world in the most negative way possible. This affection can be seen the best in Dark Souls 3. The world is just dying. It is filled with countless diseases in the form of greed, suffering, hopelessness and pain. The once thriving world is now just a rotten husk of its former self, inhabited by the abominable creatures and hollows alike. Even the flame that Gwyn so desperately clinged to is reaching its limits, as it is shown in the Link of the Fire ending. The once powerful flame that covered the full clean when the chosen undead linked it is now barely blazes on the shoulders of the Ashen One. It doesn't take much more to figure out that flame is weakening, and it can be licked so many times before it finally completely fades and the Age of Dark that Gwyn so feared actually comes. But what can Age of Dark do that Age of Fire hasn't already done? The world is falling apart. All kinds of number of monsters roam the world, and the curse of undeath is hitting everything inside out. As for Gwyn, well, maybe he already realized the consequences of his legacy would bring after he sacrificed himself to the first flame. What if the reason why he and every previous Lords of Cinder protect the clean of the first flame is because Gwyn, and by proxy the Lords of Cinder, who are influenced by the Gwyn's will, wish for the flame to finally die? Maybe that's why Gwyn emerges in the soul of Cinder as we fight him, in a desperate attempt to undo his mistake and finally let the natural order take its course, but ultimately still fail. I got a little sidetracked here, but the point is, Dark Souls 3 is about a helpless world. You see, Dark Souls 3 is not about you, the protagonist, saving the world. Whether you lick the flame or not, it is not important because you can't really save what is already dying. There is no hope of the survival of this abused and crumbling world. Best thing to do is just letting everything go, as it is shown in a good ending, where Ashen One and the Firekeeper just let the damn flame die finally and accept the impending darkness while hoping for the best for the future. Dark Souls 3 is a tragic, dark story with a horror aspect to it. It is a sad, melancholic feeling that is only unique to this game. Elden Ring is a good action-driven RPG, but in my humble opinion, it doesn't have that gritty and immersive yet equally depressing atmosphere that Dark Souls 3 has. Even the lore, as far as things are currently, is better in Dark Souls than in Elden Ring. At least I think so. The only other game that I think has potential to top off and have equally good immersion and feeling is Bloodborne. But that is just a feeling since I never played the Bloodborne because it is not on PC. God damn it, son, you released that game to platforms! If you get a chance to drop in the Dark Souls 3 after finishing Elden Ring, because that is a game that honestly deserves attention, especially if you liked the Elden Ring experience. In conclusion, Dark Souls 3 is just a masterpiece really. Sure, Elden Ring is a more optimized and finalized version of the Sourceborne formula, but Dark Souls 3 has its own feeling to it, you know? It has this immersive and amazing atmosphere that I just can't help but keep going back to, experience it all over again. It just hits differently. Whatever the case is, that's just how I feel. My name is Simple Game. Thanks for watching and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace!